Hi, and welcome to English-Fabule. Are you learning English? Great. Let's learn English with a very interesting story. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. Let's get started.
A new warship for North Korea had a terrible start. It was a big ship weighing about 5,000 tons. This ship was going into the water for the first time. This event is called a launch, but this launch did not work right. It was a big disaster. The leader of North Korea, Kim Jong Un, was at the shipyard. He came to watch this important moment. But instead of seeing a success, he saw the accident happen. He saw the ship fail to launch correctly. The ship was badly damaged. When they tried to push it into the water, one part went in, but the front stayed stuck. The ship fell over onto its side. The bottom of the ship was hit hard and crushed in places. Later, pictures from space showed the ship lying sideways in the water. Workers tried to cover it with blue cloth. North Korea's government and news media spoke about the accident. They used very strong language. They called it a serious accident and even a criminal act. They said people were very careless and did not think scientifically. Kim Jong Un was extremely angry. He ordered that the ship must be fixed immediately. He said the repairs had to be finished before a big meeting for the ruling party in June. He said fixing the ship was not just a technical problem. It was a very important political issue for the country. People in other countries saw the news and the pictures of the damaged ship. The failure was seen around the world. Kim Jong-un said the accident hurt the country's feeling of worth. He said it brought the dignity and self-respect of our state to a collapse. This shows how important this ship was for North Korea's image. The news about this failure was very public in North Korea. The main newspaper put photos of the damaged ship on the first page. This was unusual because North Korea usually only shows good news about the government and military. Showing this problem was different. By speaking about the accident so openly and demanding fast action, Kim Jong-un wanted to show he is in firm control. He wanted to show that mistakes will have consequences. He wanted to show that despite the failure, North Korea would still move forward with its plans to build a strong navy. This accident was a bad start, but Kim's reaction was meant to show strength and control in the face of a public problem. He wanted to show his people and the world that he is in charge and will make things right. 2. What went wrong? The big ship was ready to go into the water for the first time, but the way they launched it was not the usual way. For a ship this big, people normally push it down a long, sloping path with the back going first. This is called a stern launch. But at the Chongjin shipyard, they launched the ship sideways. This method is older and simpler. You build the ship next to the water. Then you push it sideways into the water. This way is often used for smaller boats. It is also cheaper because you do not need a special sloping path. The problem was that the Chongjin shipyard is not ready for very large warships like this one. This shipyard usually builds smaller vessels like fishing boats or cargo ships. It does not have the right buildings, machines, or special docks needed for big military ships. Because they did not have the normal sloping path or a large floating dock, they had to use the sideways method. Pushing a ship that weighs 5,000 tons sideways is very difficult and risky. The ship sits on special supports that have wheels or slide. All these supports must move at exactly the same time when the push starts. If one support fails or moves too fast or too slow, the ship can lose balance. And that is what happened. A part of the support under the back of the ship broke or slipped off its path. It moved into the water too early. This left the back of the ship without strong support. The heavy ship became unbalanced very fast. Because the balance was gone, the bottom of the ship was hurt. It was crushed in some places by the heavy weight pushing down on the remaining supports. The front part of the ship stayed on the land, stuck on the launch area. The whole big ship fell over onto its side. Pictures taken later show the ship lying heavily tilted in the harbor water. It is resting on its right side. Workers covered parts of it with blue covers to hide the damage or help with repairs. Experts outside North Korea studied what happened by looking at the pictures and reading reports. They said the problem was technical. The ship was too heavy for the old sideways launch method, especially with the equipment used at this shipyard. They said North Korea does not have the modern tools and infrastructure for this type of launch on such a large ship. The shipyard also did not have much experience with ships of this size. Launching small boats is very different from launching a large destroyer. Experts believe the rush to finish the launch quickly also made the accident more likely. Satellite photos from the day before showed the ship looked ready to go, maybe indicating they were in a hurry. Using an outdated method, lacking modern tools, dealing with a huge weight, and possibly rushing the work altogether caused the launch to fail badly. The supports were not strong enough or reliable enough for the weight and method used. The way the hull was crushed shows the extreme forces when the supports failed. This event clearly showed the technical limits and lack of experience at the shipyard for building and launching large warships. It was a visible sign that North Korea's naval technology and methods are not as advanced as they want the world to believe, at least at this specific shipyard. The failure was a direct result of trying to do something too big for the available tools and experience. 3. The ship itself. This big ship was a new warship for North Korea's Navy. It was a large type of ship called a destroyer. This ship was special because it was the second one of this size that North Korea had built. It is said to be in the 5,000-ton class, which is quite large for their navy. The first ship like this was shown to the public before this one. That was in April of the year 2025. That first ship was also named Cho Hyeon. It was shown at a different shipyard in North Korea. North Korea's official news reports said that these new ships carry very powerful weapon systems. They said that one ship, like the first Cho Hyeon shown in April, could carry more than 70 missiles. Experts from other countries watch North Korea closely. They look at its military developments. These experts think that some of the missiles carried on these new ships might be able to carry nuclear weapons. If this is true, it would make these ships a significant part of North Korea's military power. This is a big change for North Korea's Navy. For many years, North Korea's Navy was relatively small. It had many smaller boats, such as patrol boats and torpedo boats. These smaller boats were mostly used for defending the area close to the coast. They did not go far from the country's shores. But these new big destroyers are different. They are designed to be larger and stronger, and they are part of a plan to make the Navy much more powerful. They are built so the Navy can operate further out in the sea, not just near the coast. Kim Jong Un, the leader of North Korea, has spoken many times about the importance of building a much stronger Navy quickly. He says this is needed to improve the country's defenses. These new ships are a central part of his plan. They are meant to show North Korea's military power to other countries. They want to show that North Korea is building a modern navy with dangerous weapons. Building ships this large was a new challenge for North Korea's shipbuilders. The place where this ship was built is called the Chongjin Shipyard. People who study North Korea's military and industry say that this shipyard usually builds smaller vessels. It makes boats for fishing or ships for carrying goods. Building a large, complex warship like a destroyer needs specialized skills, advanced tools, and specific technology that might not have been common at this shipyard. Experts believe this shipyard did not have much experience building ships as big and complicated as this one. Some observers believe that North Korea received help from another country to build these large ships. They think Russia might have given support. Russia and North Korea have increased their cooperation recently. The Chongjin Shipyard is located near a big port city in Russia called Vladivostok. This location is convenient and could make it easier for Russia to provide assistance, perhaps with technical knowledge, design support, or materials. Analysts in South Korea and other places have suggested that the development of ships like the Cho Hyun could have involved Russian help, possibly in exchange for other forms of cooperation between the two countries. These new warships are very important for Kim Jong Un's goals for North Korea. They are more than simply military vessels. They are a clear symbol of his desire to build a powerful military force, including a strong navy that can show strength far from its shores. These ships are intended to project North Korea's power to the world. Even with the significant problem during the launch of this second ship, these vessels represent North Korea's effort to build modern, capable weapons and a larger navy than it had in the past. Kim Jong Un wants this growing strength to be recognized internationally. 4. Kim's anger. After the big ship launch failed, people in North Korea's government were very unhappy. They quickly said it was the workers' fault. They said it was a problem caused by not being careful and not following rules. They called it a terrible mistake. It was a big shame for the whole country. This kind of accident made the country look weak to others. Kim Jong Un watched the ship try to go into the water. He saw the failure happen right in front of him. This made him very, very angry. State news reports said he called it a serious accident. He also called it a criminal act. This means he saw it as a crime that hurt the country. Kim Jong Un said this mistake was so bad that it could not be allowed to happen. He demanded that the ship must be fixed right away. He said the work must be finished completely and perfectly. He gave a clear order. The ship must be ready before a big meeting of the Korean Workers' Party in June. This was not just about fixing a broken ship. For Kim Jong Un, fixing the ship fast was very important for North Korea's image. He said it was a political issue. It showed the strength and power of the government. If the ship stayed broken, it would hurt the country's pride and show weakness. Kim Jong Un said that the people who made the mistake would pay. He ordered an investigation right away. This investigation was to find out who was responsible for the failure. People working on the ship launch felt scared. They knew that mistakes in North Korea could bring very harsh punishment. News reports said that some people who were involved in the launch were held by the police. The manager of the shipyard, a man named Hong Kil-ho, was called to be part of the investigation. Kim Jong Un's anger was a clear warning. It told everyone in the country, especially in the military and factories, that mistakes would not be accepted. He wanted to make sure people worked harder and followed all the rules exactly. The government news said that the damage to the ship was not too bad. They said it could be fixed. But Kim Jong Un's strong reaction showed that even small problems could cause big trouble for the people responsible. In North Korea, punishments for failures in important projects are often very severe. Sometimes people lose their jobs, go to prison, or face worse. This was a way for Kim Jong Un to keep control and make people afraid to fail him. He used the news to show his anger to everyone. The story of the failed launch and Kim's angry words were even put on the front page of the main newspaper, Radong Sinmun. This was unusual. Usually, the government only shows good news. But showing this failure and Kim's anger was a way to teach a lesson and make people work harder and more carefully in the future. It also showed that Kim Jong Un was watching everything and would not allow big mistakes like this to happen again. 5. Trying to fix it. Workers started their difficult job. So engineers went to look at the ship very closely. They checked it from the top and also under the water. They looked for holes. They did not find any big holes in the main part of the ship, but they found other problems. They found marks like scratches on the ship's side. Water also went inside one part at the back. Experts said it would take about 2 or 3 days to pump out the water. Fixing the side would take about 10 days. The job needed time. The government said the damage was not very serious. They said the ship was not broken too much. Kim's strong anger was a warning. It was a message for everyone working. It told them they must be very careful. They must work hard and not make mistakes. The accident showed that mistakes have big problems. The person who was the manager of the place where the ship was built had problems. His name was Hong Kil-ho. He was asked many questions. The police also took some other people away. These were the people they thought were responsible for the accident. But even with the damage and the problems, Kim Jong Un believed something important. He believed that the ship could be fixed. He wanted it fixed quickly. He said it had to be like new again. People in other countries also looked at the ship. Experts in South Korea saw pictures. They thought about the damage. They said that the ship looked like it could be fixed. They agreed it was possible to repair it. Fixing the ship fast was a big political goal for Kim Jong Un. It was about showing power. He wanted it ready before a big meeting. This showed the country could fix things fast. It showed he was in control and cared about the country's respect. The meeting was very important for the country's plans. The workers had a lot to do. They worked very hard to fix the ship fast. Leaders watched them closely. People waited to see the ship ready. It was a big effort with many people and tools. They worked day and night without stopping. The goal was to make the ship float right and look good. This needed work under and above water. Pumping water was first, then fixing the side parts. It was a race against time for them. 6. Other military news. The day after the ship had trouble, North Korea did something else. They sent missiles high into the sky. These missiles flew a long way. They landed in the water far out in the sea. Nobody was hurt, but many countries watched this very carefully. North Korea tests missiles sometimes. These tests are not always against big international rules, but they still make people in other countries worried. It shows that North Korea is still working on its weapons. It shows they will keep trying to build more. Different countries had things to say about the missiles. Japan said the missiles were a threat. A threat means something bad might happen. The United States and South Korea also watched. They are friends and work together. They said they were ready for anything else North Korea might do. They stay close and talk to each other about what is happening. China and Russia are also big countries near North Korea. They have different ideas. China and Russia said that all countries should talk. They want to find a way to have peace instead of more problems. So even after the problem with the ship, North Korea showed the world its military power. They showed that they want to keep their weapons program strong. Other countries saw this as a signal. It told them that North Korea will not stop easily. They will continue to develop weapons, even if there are difficulties or problems like the one with the ship. The world is watching closely to see what happens next. 7. What experts say. People who study North Korea looked at the failed ship launch. They also looked at how Kim Jong Un acted. One expert said that showing this problem was a message. This message is for countries like South Korea and the United States. It means that North Korea will not stop. It will keep trying to make its navy stronger. Kim Jong Un has shown problems before, like when a rocket failed. This expert thinks Kim does this to seem more open or honest. He wants to look different from leaders before him. This expert said we should not think this public showing of the accident means North Korea is weak. Maybe it is a planned step to stop bad talk and blaming inside the country. Another expert knows a lot about ships. He said that by showing this accident, Kim is also showing how much he cares about making the Navy modern. He is showing that he is sure the Navy will be good in the future. These new big ships are thought to have strong weapons. Some people think they might carry missiles that use nuclear power. The expert said that showing the failure might help the government look strong and ready to fix things. This is important when there are problems with the United States and South Korea, but some experts were very clear. One expert said the failed launch was very, very bad for North Korea. It was very embarrassing. It showed that even Kim's big plans for special weapons have problems. Many experts think that Kim wants the world to see North Korea as a country with nuclear weapons. These big ships are a main part of that big plan. One expert explained that Kim wants ships that can carry missiles with nuclear heads far away from the coast. This is a way to try and make the United States do what he wants. For example, he might want them to stop military exercises with South Korea. Inside North Korea, the government will use this accident to teach people a lesson. People who made mistakes will be in big trouble. Experts think Kim wants workers and leaders to follow rules better and be more careful. He wants to control what people think about the problem. By showing the accident, he tries to stop bad stories from spreading. Experts believe this accident shows that North Korea has limits. They do not have the best tools or building methods for such big ships. But experts also think that this problem will not stop Kim's main goals. He wants a stronger army and navy. He will keep trying to build ships and test missiles. The accident might make the Navy's plans a little slower. The workers have to fix this damaged ship very fast for Kim. This means they cannot build new ships right now. But the government says the damage is not too bad. They think they can fix it quickly. Fixing it fast is important for Kim to show his power. If he fixes it fast, it shows he is strong and can overcome problems. The accident shows that North Korea's weapons are not perfect. Other countries like South Korea and the US see these problems. But experts think Kim will use this event to show that North Korea is strong. He will say they learn from mistakes. He wants to make sure people inside the country are disciplined. He also sends a message to other countries. North Korea will not stop building its military power. Experts will watch closely to see what North Korea does next after this ship problem. 8. What this means for North Korea. The big warship fell over. Now people in North Korea must fix it very fast. Kim Jong Un said it must be fixed before a big meeting in June. This is very important work for the country. It is not just about fixing a ship. Kim Jong Un said it is a political issue. It is important for the country's image and its power in the world. If they cannot fix it fast, it looks very bad for North Korea and its leaders. The government in North Korea says the damage to the ship is small. They say it can be fixed easily and quickly. But the accident shows something else. It shows that North Korea has problems. Building a very big warship is hard, especially for North Korea. The shipyard they used was not fully ready for a ship this size. They usually build smaller boats. They did not have the right tools or enough experience for a ship as big as this one. The accident happened because of these difficulties, and because they tried to launch it in a way that was too risky for their capabilities. This accident makes things hard for Kim Jong Un. He wants to look very strong and successful. He wants to show that North Korea is a powerful country with modern weapons and a strong military. But this accident makes his image look less strong. People in North Korea and in other countries saw what happened to the ship. Kim Jong Un tries hard to control the story and what people think about this event. He wants people to believe that the country is still strong and will succeed, even with problems. People who made mistakes in the shipyard will be in trouble. Kim Jong Un is very angry about the accident. He called it a serious accident and criminal act. This means the people responsible could face severe punishment. North Korea often punishes people very hard for mistakes, especially failures that are seen as damaging the country's pride or power. This harsh reaction is also a warning to everyone else to be very careful and follow orders exactly. Countries that are not friends with North Korea will watch this situation closely. They will see that North Korea has weaknesses. The accident shows limits in their industry and technical skills for big projects. It shows that North Korea's military work is not always perfect or easy. But Kim Jong Un will not stop his plans. He will keep trying to make his military stronger. He wants North Korea to have powerful ships and missiles. He wants to show the world that North Korea is a country with power. Even the day after the ship accident, North Korea launched more missiles. This shows that they will continue their plans for new weapons. They want to show the world that one accident will not stop their military goals. So, this event tells us several things about North Korea. It shows Kim Jong-un's big and fast goals for his military power. He wants a strong navy and powerful weapons, maybe even missiles that can carry nuclear heads on ships. But it also clearly shows the problems North Korea has in building these complex things. They may not have the best technology or the right places to build these big ships easily or safely. The accident is a setback, but North Korea will try to fix it and keep going. It is a mix of strong ambition and the real difficulties the country faces in its military plans. This accident shows that even big plans can have problems. What do you think is the biggest challenge for North Korea in building a stronger navy?
Hey there! Just a second before you go. If you learned something new today, please give this video a like, write your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to the channel. It only takes a second, and it really, really helps to create even better English videos for you. Your support means the world. Thank you.